Who wouldn't want to be a marquise? That's like the CEO level VIP of ancient China. There are only 155 of them in the whole empire. Meanwhile, capital officials are everywhere like pigeons in a park. Being a marquise is basically 10x rarer. Back in the early days, you got the title by fighting wars and nearly dying. Now, the empire is peaceful, so the only thing you're fighting is paperwork. Becoming a marquise is practically impossible. Xie Luoshui knew exactly how powerful they were. So when the old emperor, still imposing, still dramatic, held her hand and said, slow and serious, "If you can bring back 3 crops from a foreign land, I'll grant you the title of marquise. You want Kuaiji? It's yours. You want Luoyang? Also yours. Luoyang, home, glory, respect." Rich in-laws staring at her like, damn. Her heart started glowing like someone turned on the palace lanterns inside her ribcage. And then boom. The emperor instantly stripped the current Marquis of Kuaiji of his title, jailed him, jailed his wife, and sentenced the whole situation to autumn execution. The fake heir? Oh, he panicked. "Who did I kill?" Minister of Justice, pretending to be sad, said, "A fetus is a life too." The fake heir, shaking like a wet cat. Huh? He wanted to argue, he wanted to scream, that doesn't even make sense. But one side-eye from the emperor turned his bones into noodles. He instantly collapsed into a snotty mess. The emperor just pointed at him, then subtly nodded at Xie Luoshui like, "Behold, this is called power." Xie Luoshui felt her heart clench. Oh yes, she wanted that. Meanwhile, the Marquis of Kuaiji lost it. "Why? My father fought for this title. How can you get it?" Xian Miao looked at him like he was watching a clown show. "Your father fought for it, not you? What's it got to do with you?" The Marquis, vibrating with fury. But Xian Miao wasn't done. Also, inheriting a title by doing nothing except being born first? That's even easier, isn't it? And lucky you don't know your father almost gave the title to your younger brother. Because, well, weak skills, shallow character, no achievements. The Marquis fainted from anger. Imperial doctor checked his pulse. Yeah, he passed out from rage. He fainted? Over that? Wow, touchy. Soon the Marquis, his wife, and the fake son got marched to prison. The Crown Prince yawned. Another one, like this was a regular Tuesday. Inside the cell, the former Imperial son-in-law listened to their tragic story, then smiled way too brightly. "Oh, that's it? My parents got demoted to commoners. Compared to you guys, I'm doing great. The fake heir, I want to hit him." Court dismissed. Shu Yanmiao wandered home, humming, unaware of the emperor and officials staring at him like he was a walking question mark. They wanted to ask him about the Americas, but no one had the courage. He reached home. What the heck is this? Piles of giant chests. Princess Wancho's guards standing guard like it was a treasure vault. "These are gifts for your righteous words the other day, Sir Shu." Shu Yanmiao blinked. "For what words? That tiny comment?" The guards, "Her Highness insists this is just a small thank you." A small thank you was now blocking his doorway. Shu Yanmiao shrugged. "Okay, put them inside." As the chests kept stacking up and his house disappeared behind boxes like a warehouse, he scratched his head. "I think I need a bigger house." There was also a sealed letter stuck to a chest. Suspicious. Meanwhile, in Princess Xiangyang's residence, "Move that cabinet out." She radiated murder. At that exact moment, Shu Yanmiao far away shouted with dramatic flair, "Murderous aura!" The entire court froze. The imperial guards nearly pulled their swords. The emperor looked at him like, "Are you serious right now?" Maybe I imagined it. Still cool, though." The emperor smiled a dangerous little smile. "Imagined? I'll show you imagined." "Shu Yanmiao." "Yes?" The emperor praised him for being quick-witted. Shu's inner voice immediately betrayed him. "Who said that? I've been so lazy." Then the emperor gave him an assignment. Go persuade the legendary scholar Elder Quan to serve the court. Shu Yanmiao died inside. Who wants to travel during winter? And if the old man doesn't want to come, forcing him would be prostitution? The emperor's blood pressure skyrocketed. But fine. Shu Yanmiao got the guards, got on the carriage, bounced for hundreds of miles, and finally arrived in Tianshui. He went to meet Elder Quan, but was received by the grandson first. "My grandfather is too old. Please go back." Shu smiled sweetly. That dangerous, sugary smile. "I came to consult Elder Quan about how many ways you can write the character Hui." The grandson. "Huh? From inside the house, Elder Quan burst out like a volcano. "You insolent brat." Shu instantly bowed. "Hello, Master Quan." And thus began the greatest intellectual roast battle of the century, except Shu didn't fight back. He just nodded enthusiastically at every rant. "Modernists are shallow. They twist ancient teachings. Yes, so true. They don't understand anything. You're amazing." By midnight, the old man was in bed, shaking with rage, unable to sleep. By sunrise, he stood tall. "I'm going with you. I will debate them myself." "Okay." Back in court, the emperor stared. "How did you convince him?" "He wants to debate classics." The emperor impressed him internally. "I did absolutely nothing." Then Elder Quan stormed in, banging his cane like Thor summoning lightning. "Who insulted ancient classical studies? Step forward." The ministers. "We what?" And Shu Yanmiao stood there looking like an innocent dumpling, whistling in his soul. The court was dead silent. Someone coughed, someone swallowed. Everyone, "Oh no." Because Quan Yizhang, 86 years old, very done with life and permanently angry, had just let out a dangerous little heh. And that heh meant someone's about to get whacked. Sure enough, one poor minister, Kui Yi, known nationwide as the man who fears his wife, stepped forward and tried to calm things down. "Master Quan, maybe you're misunderstanding." Quan narrowed his eyes. That was it. End of his patience. Are you from the New Tech School?" Yes, sir. It's an honor." Whack. Quan's cane came down like he trained in the Shaolin Temple. "I'll show you how to write the word hui, you little brat. Who told you to send a clueless junior to provoke me?" Kui curled up on the floor like a seasoned pro. He'd been beaten many times at home, so honestly, this wasn't even the worst today. Meanwhile, every minister around him was like, "Don't move, don't breathe. If he looks at you, you're next." Why Quan is angry. The simple version. During the 8 to 9 day trip to the capital, he discovered Shu Yanmiao, cute, clueless, exam-surviving dumbass. This boy didn't know a single proper classic. The one line he remembered, he even rewrote as, "Friends come from afar, and you eliminate them." So clearly, no way Shu wrote that savage insult about the New Tech School. Someone in court must have used him as a tool. And now Quan was beating every suspicious person like an angry grandpa hunting for the TV remote. Meanwhile, Shu Yanmiao. Shu whispering to his friend, "I know Confucius." But what's that Sugong thing he keeps yelling? His friend stared at him like, "Brother, how are you alive?" "Listen, after exams, I delete everything from my brain. I just want a stable government job and to quietly wait for death." Honestly? Relatable. The court starts debating, aka fighting with vocabulary. New Tech School, Confucius is basically divine energy. No, he was just a dude? New, heaven sends warnings. Old, bro, that's just called weather. New, destiny. Old, human effort. Human listening. Oh, so he's saying, you guys are fake fans of Confucius. Got it. The moment Shu simplified it, the new text guys went from polite to square up. Court drama India serial kui. I hope the emperor appreciates my sacrifice and stops sending my court speeches to my wife. I didn't want her to boss me around. I was bragging. I've been sleeping on the floor for 2 weeks. The debate escalates, aka everyone fights everyone. They started arguing about the spring and autumn annals, then the rights of Zhou, then who's from which region, then who insulted whose hometown. Shu Yanmiao munching on imaginary popcorn. OMG, look, regional discrimination, this is getting good. His Ministry of War co-worker beside him, Shu Lang, please, stop thinking, please, you'll start another fight. But Shu did not stop. Wait, I remember. Someone said the book of documents is a fake. The entire modern tech school. Excuse me. Instant power-up, ready to attack. But at the same time, a bunch of undercover ancient text scholars suddenly had a spiritual awakening. Master Quan, we're ancient text faction. We're alive. Quan, you are ho-hoo. These men had been pretending to be new text scholars their whole careers just to survive. The emperor blinked. You people still exist? Hash friendships collapse everywhere. My teacher, you. Ancient text? After I studied new text under you for half my life. My best friend? You traitor. What about our tea sessions? Our debates? Our trust? The friend tried to justify, well, actually, most of our debates were based on ancient texts I brought. His bestie, dramatic gasp, 2 steps back, about to faint. Then 1 handshake later, fine, we defect together. And boom, He switched factions, like switching seats in a cinema. The new tech school screamed betrayal. Quan Yizhang looked around with sparkly eyes like, my people were here all along. Shu Yanmiao in the back, fight, fight, fight! Both factions, shut up! Emperor, welcome to debate class. Debate has escalated too much. Quan is 90. One wrong step and they'll need to write an obituary. So the emperor sighs, bring him a chair and a cushion and maybe some tea. Debate begins formally. New tech school drops their first bomb. The extra chapters in the old book of documents prove it's fake. Ancient text guys panic. Quan frowns. This is serious now. Then bam! The two newly defected besties jump in with citations from 5 different books, like, actually, records show these chapters were found in a random lady's house 400 years ago, so your claim is false. New tech school. Okay, shows off. But then they fire back with, if the old book of documents existed earlier, why did Shunzi quote Taoist texts instead of it? Huh? Ancient text faction dies internally. End result? A scholarly debate turns into a street fight, a marriage complaint, a hometown war, a betrayal reveal scene, a fandom meltdown, Shu Yamiao live reacting like a YouTube streamer. Everyone else is sweating, angry, or betrayed. Shu Yanmiao is just vibing. The debate was going downhill fast. The ancient tech school was sweating, poking at their desks, totally clueless. Shu Yanmiao suddenly nudged the war ministry assistant like, bro, can we prove Sunzi didn't quote from that ancient book simply because he never heard of it? The assistant went, sure. I'll just say Shunzi was ignorant. Then everything he ever said is useless. Boom, your entire theory collapses. So this is allowed? Absolutely. It's called weaponizing nonsense. And just like that, Shu Yanmiao understood debate for the first time. 2 people aggressively being contrarians. That's it. The 2 schools kept arguing. Old tech school. Modern literature people, contrarians. New tool. Can't we call you contrarians too? Someone mocked them again. Stop struggling. Your ancient texts are fake anyway. The old tech school nearly fainted. Then suddenly, their master Qian Yizhang woke up mentally, opened the Bible of Confucianism inside his brain, and delivered a perfect rebuttal. He quoted Shunzi like he memorized the entire library before breakfast. New tech school. Speechless.x old tech school. Master genius, light of our lives. But then someone brought up a geography question. If this ancient text is real, why does it mention a place that didn't even exist when the author was alive? More sweating. Qian Yizhang didn't blink. Because it's passed down for generations. Obviously, the name would be updated later. Next question. New tech school. We still have one question. I have an answer. New text. Another question. Another answer. They went back and forth like 2 old uncles arguing over whose slippers are in the wrong place. Meanwhile, the other old text members were useless. But they had learned one thing from Shu Yanmiao. Ask petty questions. Very petty questions. So they threw a killer one. You study the Gongyang commentary, right? Then tell us, how many subtle meanings does it contain? New text school. They didn't know. No one ever counted. Why would anyone count that? Except Shu Yanmiao, the king of nitpicking. Old text school. Beautiful. Amazing. We're geniuses. The poor war ministry official watching all this was dying inside. We started with a normal debate. Now it's a bloodbath. Meanwhile in prison, the emperor's grandson peeked out his cell bars every 5 breaths. He was convinced his almighty uncle would show up any moment to rescue him. His cellmate explained how awesome the uncle is. Nephew of the crown princess, royal advisor, scholar, genius. Before he finished, the uncle appeared like a dramatic K-drama entrance. The nephew, uncle, softens, my poor child. And then he tried to pat his head, but froze, because the boy was dirty, greasy, and disgusting, and uncle had a cleanliness obsession, so he backed away dramatically. I'll save you. Stay strong. And ran. Nephew. Back at court. Chaos, smoke, verbal explosions, old people screaming scripture at each other. Old Master Qian and Uncle G were having a rap battle with Confucius quotes. The insults? Absolutely feral. Pig dog. Beast. Enemy of heaven. Even Confucius would have walked out like, yeah, this is too much even for me. They fought all day. All day. In prison, the royal kid's stomach rumbled. He refused food dramatically twice because he believed Uncle would save him any moment now. But Uncle G? He was at home, up all night, reading books, preparing insults for round 2. And then, at sunrise, He suddenly stood up and said the most heartbreaking line ever. I feel like I forgot something. Wait, I forgot a line in the scripture. And he rushed out excitedly, ready to destroy the ancient text's faction. Meanwhile, the emperor's grandson in prison. Uncle? Uncle?